Mr. Gums, is it accurate to say that across Anguilla's educational system, there is a bias to students who are academically inclined?
Thank you very much, Ms. Moderator. I personally would not say that because in every country, there are people who want to do certain things. I have a nephew. Let me give you a good example. I have a nephew who's he never really wanted to do much in school, and his parents would always be on his back. And my mother would tell him, give him a break. He'll do what he wants to do. Now he's a trade mechanic, but he graduated from high school, went to college, studied, and now he's a trade mechanic. So I don't think there's a bias, but we need to open up to those who are not academically inclined and give them opportunities where they can do things. Those who are academically inclined still will do what they want to do, whether they want to go off to be doctors, lawyers. If they want to be mechanics, they'll still do what they want to do. But I don't think there's a bias between both of them because God made us all and He knows exactly what He's doing. We all can be teachers, we all can be doctors. Somebody will have to fix the cars, somebody will have to build the roads. So I don't think there's a bias when it comes to that.
Thank you, Mr. Gums. That was actually a two-part question. The second part read, do you think our strictly academically inclined students should be separated from those whose interest lies in the trades? Do you think our strictly academically inclined students should be separated from those whose interest lies in the trades?
My personal view is yes, not to be a form of discrimination, but my personal view is yes, because I've known instances where those who come to school and really not interested in education, they're the ones who make the trouble and they cause disturbance to the others who want to learn. But if we can separate them, I wouldn't say separate them in the terms of school, like in the buildings. You separate them, have them in other classes, because when I went to high school, there was a lady who actually, she would have done very well in school. To be honest, I don't know how I made it to high school before her. And she never passed the exam because she was really a top student. Because sometimes when it comes to the exam, it's nerves, eh? You get nervous and you know the answers, but you just can't get it out. So I think we should all be given a fair chance. If that's what they want to do, give them the opportunity. But when it comes to Anguilla, I don't see the opportunity for them. They go to high school, no trade school, no technical school, and that's the end result of that.
Your next question, Mr. Gums, will be presented by one of our students, Mr. Neil Gums.
Mr. Gums, you are obviously a critic of the ruling party. Please tell us what you think was the single biggest mistake they have made while in power. And if you are willing, tell us what decision they made that you thought was a good one. You have 2 minutes.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay. Mr. Gums, you are obviously a critic of the ruling party. Please tell us what you think was the single biggest mistake they have made while in power. And if you are willing, tell us what decision they made that you thought was a good one. You have 2 minutes.
2 big projects at the same time and bringing in foreign cheap labor. That was the biggest mistake that they made in Anguilla. And I would like to say, and I wish I could say, there was a good decision that they have made, but I would prefer refrain. I might go down the wrong road.
Thank you, Mr. Gums. Please tell us how you first became interested in running for public office. I know you said earlier that you came to your decision to run based on the call of your constituency, but tell us how you personally became interested in running for public office. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. Well, actually, I follow politics all my life. My mother was a strong supporter of Ronald Webster, and we were always, wherever there was a meeting, we always followed it. And I couldn't vote, but I had my shirts all marked up, vote for the hat, and call it that. But when it comes to I've always followed politics. Very keenly. I always had an interest in politics, but I never really wanted to be involved this heavily. But, you know, when you see there's a problem and you kind of address the problem, you sit with other people and you talk about the problem, and they decide, well, somebody must do something about it. And then if they ask you to do it and you say, no, well, it's like you're defeating the purpose. So when they asked me, they had me shaking. I couldn't believe it, but for the love of the people and for the love of this country, I had no choice.